power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. Salute, salute, salute. Oh, salute, salute. Yeah, making an attempt to get on a little bit early today. And as you can hear, the wind is blowing. I have dinner on the stove. Andre Barnes. Peace, peace. What up? What up? Salute. I have dinner on the stove. Yet I still have a couple of more moves to make. But I wanted to get this in. I actually, was hoping that it could be a much longer Q&A. But it's not going to happen. I will have to come back on tonight. Nick is doing well. Nick is actually Johnny. Peace, Johnny. Nick is actually out of town putting together pop-ups for Young Dolph. Young Dolph has museums, pop-up museums going up in his honor. And my son is actually doing that. He is, going from state to state, city to city, doing the Young Dolph pop-ups. Yes, the one that was in DC this week. Yes, that was my son's work. And T, I'm doing chili tonight. Well, all my contact information is here. The best way to contact me is to DM me on Instagram. All right? DM me on Instagram. Right now, again, I want to, I had the idea that I was going to do a long Q&A. I do those sometime. I do the Q&As and allow people to have free discussion and not just on what the content is. But this has to be spoken about right now because everything that I have done as far as social media is concerned always comes back to this. Always, no matter how many times we try to stray away from it, no matter how many times we make the attempt to move in a different direction, since we are in these conditions and have been in these conditions for quite some time, it always comes back around. I'm not sure if everyone is aware of the young brother Rasheem Carter, who is going viral right now. His story is going viral right now. It is a very, very disturbing story. And I make an attempt to always be solution-based, no matter what the issue is, whether it's education, whether it's healthcare, whether it's mental health, whether it's the culture, whether it's street, right? I always look for the solution, and we dialogue and we making attempts to grow the tribe, always, when you're coming in, we always say, well, share, share, share. Let the tribe know that we here, you know, so they can be engaged in the conversation, so they can be aware of what's going on. And I always make an attempt to give very concrete, clear solutions to a lot of the things that we're going through. This Rasheem Carter case is something that I've spoken on in the past, not as far as his case in particular, but when it comes to all of us, as far as black men making it safely home, black people, right? Women and children making it home safe, and understanding that we are not safe here. We're not good here. We're just not. Mahogany Phillips, salute, salute, Brownsville in effect. Kelly Mills, what's going on? We just aren't. So you always hear me say specific things and give specific charging orders as far as us keeping our eyes up, as far as us knowing our surroundings, as far as us knowing our purpose. Because even in being 1000% on purpose, 1000% in our move, 1000% in being completely aware of what's going on around us, we still have, you know, I'm going to say about a 50-50 chance of surviving the calamities that surround us, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, or emotional. 50-50. And that's with us being on point at any given time. So this story, it disturbs me because it's something that I never take for granted, that I hope that I can encourage you all to never take for granted. It is our being, our black bodies, how we are consistently under attack. I never make an attempt at victim shaming. I consciously choose words and scenarios when it comes to making statement as somebody or some group that have met their demise at the hands of racists, at the hands of people who feel that they have the divine right to take our lives, to take our organs, to rip apart our potential individually to be greater, right? Or as a whole, as a people, to stifle our potential to be greater as a people. I always look for what could have prevented the act. And this story here has so many different layers and so many spaces where, hold on, what prevented this person from being conscious, aware, or just shaken up a little bit when it came to understanding how much danger they were in? How much danger they were in. Christopher Farmer, salute. Yes, indeed. Thank you for the green screen that I received overnight, waking up to it. Much appreciated. And again, I wanted to make this a Q&A, a green screen Q&A, you know, marathon. So I'm going to have to do that later on this evening or later on in the week because time is collapsing. But in this story with Rasheem Carter, and this is something that I might have spoke on a few months back because I remember the story and hearing about it. And I was saying, damn, this sounds weird. It just sounds very weird. We are not good here. We're not safe here. And the spaces where our people find delusion, Ms. Hartfeld, salute, where we are really, really delusional when it comes to how we are moving along as we are under attack. So the story a while ago was of a young man saying that he was being followed. He was in danger. His life was threatened. No one was assisting him. He had went to the precinct and he had even told his family. And he ended up missing. Only for them to find remains, I believe it was 2 months later, and the investigation had found that there was no foul play involved. Now, as time has passed and other sources of information are coming out, is found that he was decapitated. He had severe spinal damage in the torso when they found that. He was severely beaten. And there is no way that the initial report should have said anything different. Time and time again, I speak on how the institutions that we live under have but one purpose: to work you to death under the guise of capitalism, or to outright murder you under the guise of imperialism, of what they call democratic imperialism, right? Because some forces behind some cloaks and some daggers have deemed manifest destiny, right? Manifest destiny and all these other terminologies and being good Christians, white Christians. And it is their divine right to conquer everything on this space that we call Earth. Everything on this part of the planet, the poor part of the planet, as we have been taught, everything that you can think of mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally has been set on a pace to feed these systems and institutions. We are not safe here. We're not safe in their schools. We're not safe in their hospitals. We're not safe in their prisons. We're not safe in their corporate offices. We are just not good. We're not safe. And the way that propaganda moves, the way that conditioning is enforced, the way that we even think about ourselves when it comes to where we are is retarded, is distorted. It's distorted. We are the only group on this entire planet that still is asleep when it comes to what is in store or what is working against us. Some honestly ignorant, others purposely ignorant. And then there are those who know, but because they know and are able to articulate it in a way to have people believe that you are safe under them, is among us as well. These factors can cloud judgment, can cause confusion, you know, and in our slang in East New York and in Brooklyn, it rock people to sleep. And sometimes the rocking to sleep is so subtle where it have you believing that you are in power. Y'all gotta excuse me because I'm getting these citizen apps, people getting shot in Brownsville. Somebody just got shot in Saratoga. Somebody just got stabbed down a block from me. It's a lot going on. So if you see my eyes moving back and forth, it's because I'm reading this and I'm like, damn, I gotta get out there and get intel because I have people out there running around. It's like, we're in this. And listen, if you don't understand that this is beyond state of emergency, that this is what some may prophesize as Armageddon, because these wars, these miniature battles is consistent. And if you're not soldiering up, if you're not militant, your chances of being a casualty, boom. That it increases every second. Because there's other things going on, right? People believing that if they are engaged in certain scriptures or surahs or certain doctrines or even on certain paths, believing in finances and stuff, it's just a lot that's going on. Always remember in the Matrix when he was walking them down the street and everything and everybody was oblivious to what they were doing there as he's schooling him. No one knew what was going on. They was all running and just in it without purpose. And he showed them, boom, look how easily you was distracted. This is where we're at right now. And sometimes the trauma that you see on a regular basis or that you've lived through on a regular basis can cause you to be distracted because it's but so much someone can take before they themselves start to collapse, which is why I consistently sit in the trenches. I'm in the foxhole, consistently working. Because if you're not working, if you're not building, you're falling a victim to it. You're destroying yourself. So in this particular case, the young man, 25 years old, college graduate, was getting out in the world, was working. And from what reports are saying and what his mother's saying, that this was actually his first real gig. He was from Mississippi, all right? who again has a systematized, a functioning system when it comes to the death of black bodies. They got it in smash. From judges to politicians down to military police agencies and all. Damn. Mum's the word. They don't think nothing about you. They think about black people, they think of black people the way they think of roaches. Especially since Reconstruction and took everything away from them seemingly. They think nothing about you down there. At all. It is a system that is properly functioning. The entire framework, the entire institution in those states, that state specifically, means absolute rule for those people. That's what it is. Now you can cry, you can complain, you can say what shouldn't be. It is. Now how do you deal with that fact, knowing that it is? What are you going to do? What are we going to do about it? Salute Montez for the green screen. That's just the way it is. So this young man found work. And in the course of him finding work, he was staying in a motel and driving, I believe, a distance of 100 miles to get to the location. After being there for a while, he started to call his mother and other family and tell them that, things are not good. He's having problems there. And he's, you know how they do, the subtleties, the passive aggressiveness, it got to a point where he was so concerned about his well-being that he went to the precincts. When he went to the sheriff, he told law enforcement, they say on at least 2 different occasions, and nothing was done. Remember, this is the institution. So you actually may have been in the arms of your enemy there. Again, I already know, we already know, there is no relief when you're going to them. We know this. This is law enforcement. They murdered Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Eric Garner, and the list goes on and on and on. Philando Castile, Breonna Taylor, and on and on and on. We know this. We know this. Police have not been established to protect black folk. Just haven't. They're not there for that. So in doing that, in alerting the police and alerting his family, he still continued to remain there. This baffles me. It does. You know how I feel about financial institutions. You know how I feel about working. You know how I feel about these systems, these institutions, these policies. nothing is worth your life. Nothing is worth your life. Not a woman, not a job, not a dream. Nothing is worth your life. When you feel your life is in danger, move out of the way. Move. There is no talking. There is no writing. There is no hoping. There is no wondering. When you feel your life is in danger, move. Leave. So, the last call that his mother received from him, she said that he was being followed by white men, racist white men, and if anything happens to him, this man at his job, this, I guess he was a supervisor, was in charge, that he's to blame. That was it. That was, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, what more does it take? What more does it take for a black person who understands, knows, even vaguely, the history of our people here, the history of our people in the South, the history of the people in Mississippi? What is the matter with our people? When we hear of all the stories of the Jeffrey Dahmers, of the bestiality, of these Karens in schools, sodomizing young children, and everything that we deem ill and demonic and devil. Why do we offer up our bodies to work for them, to be around them? Why do we entrust ourselves to them? This is common knowledge. We have to do better. I have to do better. As I say all the time, when I hear these things and other people can be influencers over our people, I feel that I have to do a better job because somebody is either not saying it or I'm not saying it well enough. That is what leadership is. We are all responsible to and for each other. All of us are responsible for and to each other. So when we say, what is going on? We are what's going on. Us. When you fail to unite, when you fail to look for common sense solutions to these problems, and these are major problems. Attacks on our women and children have skyrocketed prior to the pandemic. Attacks on black men have gone through the roof. Thank you, Ms. Hartfeld, for the super chat. Even in propaganda, even in mass media, they are making the conscious effort to erase black men. Erase you. Scribble you out. So when these things take place, it's a shrug of a shoulder. So what? And I don't care how much money you have, you won't be heard. I don't care how many baskets you shoot, you won't be heard. I don't care how many raps you have, you won't be heard. There has been an automatic reflex when it comes to eliminating black men. Automatic, not even thought of. Do you think about slapping a mosquito? Do you think about stomping on a roach? Do you think about killing ants? You don't think about it. It's done. You have no conscience about that. When are you going to learn that white people feel that when it comes to black men? They feel that exact same way when they look at, when they are in the presence of, when they feel the energy of a black man, a black male's body. They will murder you without a thought. Without batting an eye. And all of the propaganda that they put out to alert themselves, to put themselves on code when it comes to you, your own people believe this shit too. They have your people, black people, and every other nationality on point. Now, some may feel it and they walk with it. Others may not be part of the program. But how do you decipher who is who? How do you know who is who? Y'all watch movies like Get Out and y'all entertained by it, aren't you? But again, was there reality in the movie? Did you identify with anything in the movie? I mean, that's why the art is so entertaining. That's why literature has such an impact on you. Television and movies, right? Because you can identify with it. And you are more entertained the wilder the fantasy is. So at what point do we continue to be awakened? Or what is it going to take for our people to understand and comprehend the dangers that we are in every minute of every day? Every minute of every day. No one can challenge that. No one can challenge me on that. At the end of every law, at the end of every policy, at the end of every code, there is disenfranchisement or death for black men. Read it with your glasses on. Read it with your consciousness on. And the end road to any of it let you know exactly who you are and where you are. So now this family has lost their black child. 25 years old. 25 years old. You picture that. Picture that. Picture you getting that call. Mom, Dad, I'm in danger. What is your response? What is your response? How do we so freely just say, oh, be careful? Instead of bring your ass home now. That is my charge every single day. That is my charge to my family. That is my charge to you, my tribe. Your task is to make it home every day with all 10 fingers and 10 toes. Nothing else matters. This isn't a game. This isn't a game. Nothing has changed. If they did it to Emmett Till and they did it to Rasheem Carter, what has changed? Salute Darrell Javon. Salute for the green screen, the heavy green screen donation. Glad you're here with us. This is serious. Always has, always will be. And it's always, you go through any video, anything, here, that I put out, here, Facebook, wherever I'm at. Remain militant. Soldier up. They don't love you. All the time. All the time. There is nothing that you can do here besides being a soldier that will keep you out of harm's way. Every path leads to the hellfire. Every path leads you to the arms of your enemy. I don't care what you're thinking about. I don't care which way it is. You are vulnerable here. And now there are elements who have been activated. And they do it to us. You have people coming in this country who cannot speak English, who do not know the roads, who don't know how to travel. And they are safe here. How many stories you heard of somebody who just got here being lynched, drugged, hung, decapitated? This is our circumstance. Ours. And we've been here. So that means that it is designed for us. because we have been conditioned to believe that these people give a damn two shits about us. Oh, I work, 'cause I'm a good nigga, I work. I'm good, I pay my bills. I'm good, I'm never late. I worship them, I say yes, I please, and you still don't tell you nothing. So I just hope his family can find some way to heal. Because you're not getting no justice. There's no justice in that. The reason why initially they said there was no foul play was to give them time to run and hide and flee and cause a bunch of what ifs. That system is designed to be a graveyard for our people. That's what it is. The other two individuals in the thumbnail intrigued me. I came across a new video of one of our elders, Ronnie Long. Ronnie Long served over 4 decades, 44 years in prison for crime he didn't commit. And out of 44 years in prison, they gave him $750,000. And videos are circulating now again, of course, because of TikTok and things of that nature, of him crying and saying that that ain't enough. That is not enough. 750,000. Because in the course of those 44 years, he lost everybody. But the main people he lost was his parents, who last words, especially his father, this touched me. His father said, tell him I did everything. I did everything I could to get him released. Salute, peace, PCB, thank you. I did everything, his father said. I did everything to get him out. And his mother's last words, and she passed a month before he was released, is Ronnie home. So after 44 years, we got $750,000. He said it's not enough. He said, I was doing my thing. I was carving, I think granite, I believe he said he was. He was brick masonry. I was doing my thing as a young man. I was doing my thing. Y'all systematically took my life. Now, I say that to say this one man, for 44 years, right? Salute, Stoney, salute. For 44 years, 750,000. These cats is talking about reparations and all that. Don't have nowhere near that amount for each individual. And though he spent 44 years behind bars, he's alive. Again, I always ask, how much are we entitled to when we lost black babies for centuries? Black women raped, murdered, towns, cities destroyed, millions of our people. How much. What is the reparation for that? Lost culture, language, our way of being. You mean to tell me that you can literally beg and plead for these people who have a system that allowed Rasheem Carter to be murdered? You're going to beg them and expect them to give you reparations? I think not. I think not. They could never, ever repay you. So what do you do? What should be the call? And he's not it. Ronnie's not it. The other man in the thumbnail is Sidney Holmes from Florida. He was 23 years old in 1989. Locked up 34 years. They sentenced this man to 400 years for armed robbery. How does that even make sense? And had no true idea of the robbers and said, nothing. Couldn't even put him in the area, nothing. And just here, okay, you go. Out. 34 years. And there's numerous people nationwide. So if they're not murdering you in the streets, if they're not murdering your babies with impunity, if they're not imprisoning your people at any given time, just pluck you up out of your life, just snatch your potential away at any given time, how much is that worth to you? How much is that worth to you? Especially when they're telling you that you gotta be separated to get it. You don't deserve it. You do. You don't. You don't. Before you even get to the table and allow white men to separate you, you're already doing it to yourself. This is the shit we going through. Again, where are you here? Where are you? Right here. What is your purpose? What is your vision for yourself? Who are you? When the whole world's collapsing. How do you not acknowledge this? How does not get you to focus on what you need to read, on how you should move, on where you want to go? And it has to be outside of them and this. Because you can't have dreams and aspirations to be cuddled and coddled within their system and really expect not to get bit or burnt by it. That makes absolutely no sense. Who are you? What do you truly want? What is your purpose? Ask yourself. I already tell you who you are. I already know who you are. I know it. I live it. I make an attempt every day to encourage you. Don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. But who are you? Where are you going? Are you going to keep going back knowing your life is in danger? Are you going to not get off of these paths that's leading you to death, you walking into the noose. We have young people in the industry walking themselves into the noose and celebrating it. Videos and pictures smiling in jail. Out of all of the horrific pictures that we see of lynchings, of Jim Crow, of Reconstruction era, you see any of them smiling? You don't see any of them happy with the noose on? The absolute worst place for a conscious person to be is amongst niggas who don't know they are niggas. That is the most dangerous place for a conscious or woke person to be. Are you amongst niggas? Are you one? Because you see where they end up. You hear me? Do you hear me? The most dangerous place for a conscious or woke person to be is amongst a bunch of niggas who do not know they are niggas. So again, I got to move. I got to run around. There's things going on. I have to make sure my family's safe. I got to move. We may return. To my moderators, much appreciated for doing what y'all do. Revolutionary love and salute to you all. To any new people to the tribe, please share. Be encouraged. Be loved. Be conscious and seek solution. Don't rely on these people. Don't believe that you are safe. We are not safe at all. We're just not. Okay? Understand that. Salute, peace and power, all love to the people, the struggle.